Hi, JG Pastor Jack here with Classic Motorsports Magazine. Today, taking a look at what is sure to be a future classic. You know, it's not just old cars that can be classics, but this Jaguar XKR, clearly inspired by the legendary Jaguar E-Type, celebrating its 50th anniversary this year, is one of the cars that we'll be looking back on deep into the future when we're all sitting around the electronic campfire or whatever we have in 50 years and remembering just how cool these were. Just looking at the shape evokes the Jaguars that we all thought were legendary growing up with. The torpedo lines, the wide mouth, the long hood, the short trunk. The whole thing just oozes power and oozes class, and Jaguar has done a magnificent job putting a lot of heritage and a lot of modern touches of style into this beautiful automobile. But it's not just good looks that gets the XKR down the road. No, under that long, beautiful curving hood is a 510 horsepower 5-liter V8. And honestly, the V8 in this Jaguar XKR makes better sounds than I have heard out of a British sports car in a long, long time. In fact, I dare say this thing makes some of the best sounds that I've heard since they were putting American V8s in British sports cars. You know, as far as we're concerned, the best thing you can do with a great road car is to take a great road trip. And for our big jungle cat here, we had the perfect road trip in mind. See, America has long been a pioneer in developing things that you can do right from the comfort of your own car, like drive-in movies, or drive-through restaurants, or drive-through dry cleaning pickup, or even a drive-through wedding chapel. But we decided to take our Jag to one of the icons of the drive-through. That is America's first drive-through wild animal park, Lion Country Safari in West Palm Beach, Florida. We talked to their wildlife director down there, who is a classic car enthusiast in his own right, put him behind the wheel of our big cat, had him show us some of their big cats, and talk a little bit about this historic piece of roadside Americana. All right, so we're here with Terry Wolf. You are the wildlife director here at Lion Country Safari, West Palm Beach. Storied history, obviously, with Lion Country Safari here since '67, I understand. Give us a little history of America's first drive-through animal park.
Well, Lion Country was the idea of these 5 guys from South Africa that wanted to create an experience in this country that was similar to what they had in Africa. You know, in Johannesburg back in the 60s, you'd drive about 30 miles outside of town and you could see lions laying underneath trees. If you had a boring weekend, that was a way to spice it up. So they thought Americans would like that. They had a friend named Chipperfield who ran a circus and had his old retired animals in his estate in England. And he was opening it up for the public on the weekends to help pay the taxes. So he kind of gave them a little direction on what to do and how to do it. But in reality, this was Jurassic Park with lions, because these were businessmen. They weren't animal guys. They had no clue how it was going to work. They just kind of said, okay guys, make it work. And it turned out to be this revolution in the zoo business, because prior to that, most zoos were just concrete and steel, small pens set up like a museum. You know, you walk 20 steps, you see one animal, another couple of steps, you see another animal. Here, the people are in the cage and the animals are free, and you have to kind of go a little bit to see them, but they're real. They're in their own element, they're healthy, they're less stressed.
So what really started out as a convenience, I mean, obviously Americans love doing stuff from their cars. We used to have drive-in movies and drive-through food and coffee, and now we have drive-through zoos. But it turns out that the convenience for us is actually better for the animals' welfare.
It's so much better for the animals. Number one, they get a lot of space that they need, especially this antelope. They love to run, and if you want them to really be healthy, you got to have numbers. You got to have a herd, and they're really happy about that because they build up their numbers, and then they get a social structure.
What are some of the intricacies of pairing cars and animals that you guys have to work with as the wildlife team?
Well, obviously we have to be stringent on people to stay in their cars. It looks really deceptive, but the animals look upon the car as like a big white buffalo or a big green buffalo. It's not dangerous to them as long as the windows are up and the people are inside. You're noticing today in this convertible that we're driving around in how all the animals are a little bit suspicious. They run away from us because it's not quite the same. They're not used to seeing convertibles. And if we were to get out and walk, it'd be even worse. They'd run off. We would look like a predator to them. The other problems are, of course, are the people safe? We make them safe in the lion section by having separate fences that keep the animals a little bit away from the cars. The rhinos we have to watch a little bit carefully because especially in the rainy season when they get wet, a little itchy, scratchy, and boy, when a 5,000-pound rhino rubs up against your car, it'll take the paint right off.
So we got a 4,000-pound Jaguar here versus a 5,000-pound rhino. He's going to probably win if he won. There's not much you can do to stop him.
Yeah, and I'm pleased that you got a gray one here that looks like a rhino might want to breed with it. We could get in real trouble here today.
So you know how to stop a rhino from charging?
Take away its credit card.
I was going to say kick him in the balls, but that probably has its own. So we'd like to thank the folks from Lion Country Safari for being so generous and giving our big cat a behind-the-scenes tour at one of America's great drive-through wild animal parks. It'll cost you $32.95 to get in a Lion Country Safari, but it'll cost you a little bit more to get into an XKR, about $108,000 according to the price sticker of this car. But if this is what you're looking for, you might not really be shopping price. What you're looking for is a car with impeccable capabilities and fantastic build quality and a really, really unique and specific personality, which is everything this car has. This R package really adds a little bit of an edge to a sophisticated car. Doesn't make it any less sophisticated, but provides a level of aggression that we're not really used to seeing from Jaguar recently, and really ups the ante in this sort of super high-end luxury GT market.